telling one of my buddies that knows me for a very long time. He's from Florida as well. And he's like, man, I told him about the story, and he's like, man, sounds like you were probably maybe 1 or 2 decisions away from being this man. and I was like, yeah, that might be true, actually. I mean, look, I was a stripper. So, there's a lot of bad decisions in and around that.
Turning the gold for you.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I think we're all 1 or 2 bad decisions away from all the rest of the decisions becoming smaller and less good. And there's sometimes the slippery slope just gets more and more slippery, and then you find yourself at the bottom, not knowing how to get up again. And yeah.
But he kept said during the thing about how smart this guy was. Was it common sense, or was he really a smart guy, and just for whatever reason, like those choices?
You know, he told me, he's like, look, I know what I did was bad. He's like, I was just angry because I didn't think it was fair how much time they gave me. Yeah. And he said, though, he's like, I got greedy. He's like, I did it because for a very, a justifiable reason. In his mind, he wasn't doing anything bad in the beginning. But then he's like, I did get greedy. I didn't ever think I was going to get caught. No one was getting hurt in his mind. And then only in reflection, and I think of the time that he's had in prison, to really understand that was hurting, not just his family and people that he loved, and now that he's taken away from, but the people that he was robbing. There was trauma there. That he was affecting people. That story that he was telling himself wasn't a true one. And I think the stories that we tell ourselves are really important. And I think he's had a lot of time to reflect on that.
I also gave Lily a driving lesson because I thought she couldn't drive, because she lived in New York, so I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense, she can't drive. I didn't know she was from LA. And Derek filmed the entire thing. So I taught Lily to drive. So we did things like that, but also Lily and I just hung out a lot. I really just love her, and she became like a friend, little sister to me. And so, yeah, it was, I never like to force relationships in the acting. I would rather use it if we didn't get along to, like, not that I wouldn't get along with a little girl, like, you know what I mean? Like, I would rather not, like, do something forced and then I'd use that, Okay, I guess this mom and daughter don't get along, let's say, or whatever it is. But I think the more you build together, whatever it is, and get to know each other, the more everybody feels comfortable being themselves and being natural and not afraid to, like, touch you or hug you or, the little things that bring the fabric of this family together.
I'll say one thing, like, for instance, the apartment that they live in, we do the whole thing. Like, there was never a scene in Lindsay's room, but her whole room was completely decorated because you want her as a character to have a place to go to and be. And that home was a real home. It was functional. And so when Jeff walks into that home, there's been experiences already in that.
I had the opportunity to screen it by myself, and I saw it, and I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna resonate with people because the story's just so universal, and his character study was it was done so well, and you have these 2 amazing people at the helm, and it was just a no-brainer, and I was just really, really happy to be a part of it. You don't really get movies of this caliber these days. And it's going to be in theaters everywhere, so go to the theater and watch
October 10th.
October 10th.
October 10th. Shout out to October 10th. You gotta throw that in there. But make sure you go to the theater to see it, because it's one of those theatrical experiences in this family movie that just appeals to all different types of people from different spaces. And I'm not trying to sell it, but I am. But it's dope. But no, it was. I just knew it would be beautiful, and I'm so glad that people are being able to pick up the resonance that it has and are speaking positively about it. That's a beautiful thing. Shouts out to you, Channing. You have outdone yourself and, crossed over into a space in your artistry where you feel confident. I think that's a beautiful thing, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Last night was the first time I was seeing the movie, and I think I was truly blown away by how happy I felt to be a flawed human afterwards, and how grateful I was to be a part of a film that is so important to go into cinemas and remind people why we make movies. Shot on film and telling a story about these humans who I'd like to have dinner with. I'd like to get to know, I'd like to introduce myself to them. And I was just again blown away by the performances given by everybody in this movie, from Derek's wild, beautiful, dreaming brain, and the kind of finished product, and how happy I felt to feel like a flawed human, I guess. And again, I just kudos to the performances, because I think they are ones that will go down in history, I hope.